Hi, my name is Dave and I just love to talk about progressive rock to newbies and devotees alike. And in this video I'm looking at the 7 studio albums from Scottish rockers, the Sensational Alex Harvey Band. Now the group were known for their dynamic music and performances. Fronted by that charismatic and theatrical Alex Harvey, the band fused rock, blues and cabaret elements, creating a unique and compelling sound. Their albums, including Next and The Impossible Dream, were marked by Harvey's emotive vocals and the band's electrifying live performances. While their commercial success varied, they left an indelible mark on the rock scene, admired for their creativity, stage presence and willingness to experiment. But more on this in a moment. But first, if you want to be made aware when new videos are released, then please consider subscribing to the channel. The band consisted of frontman Alex Harvey, lead guitarist Zal Clemenson, bassist was Chris Glenn, Hugh McKenna was on keyboards and Ted McKenna was on the drums. Chart success was mainly in the UK, but they did develop an isolated cult following in Cleveland, Ohio, where radio station WMMS frequently played Next and The Faith Healer to help the band become popular in that particular area. So there were 7 albums released between 72 and 77, and in this exercise I'm not including the 1977 release Foreplay, which was recorded without Harvey, who had temporarily left the band, but it will rank the others from worst to first. So at number 7 it's Sob Stories, to give it its correct pronunciation, which was released in 1976 on the Vertigo record label, which in fact applied for all of these magnificent 7 albums originally. Now it was 37 minutes long and spawned 2 singles from it. Boston Tea Party was quite a big hit for the band, reaching number 13 in the UK charts, and there was also a cover of Jerry Reed's song Amos Moses that failed to chart. The album hit number 11 in the UK. Dance to Your Daddy it's an okay opener. $25 for a Massage is a fun track, and Dogs of War is a massive powerhouse of a track. At number 6 it's Rock Drill from 1978, and this one represented a departure from the band's earlier sounds. It was more experimental and progressive in its direction, incorporating synthesizers and electronic elements, and was the last to be recorded in this classic run of albums. Tommy Eyre replaced Hugh McKenna on keyboards for this one, and it's reported that Harvey broke down in tears once the recording of the final track, No Complaints Departed, had been completed, the last track the band ever recorded. Now, there is some confusion with this track, as it was withdrawn from early copies of the album, and it was replaced by a folk-sounding track called Mrs. Blackhouse. Exactly why that was, I'm unsure. But it opens with the title track that's in 4 parts, with the Dolphins being described by lead guitarist Clemenson as the best track they wrote after Faith Healer and Compliments to the Chef. High praise indeed. There's the instrumental called Buoys, which it's a noisy drum-laden track. Who Murdered Sex, an out-and-out rocker with some of that missing mischievousness of other albums, and is really good. Nightmare City is quite a weak sound-alike from another album I can't quite place. I'm not keen on this one at all. Water Beastie is an okay song, it's about the Loch Ness Monster. On another day this album would be ranked in last place. At number 5 it's Tomorrow Belongs to Me from 1975. Now you might be surprised to find it's this low down. It opens with a wonderful track about German prostitution, Snakebite, and it's about an adulterous relationship. This one is really good. I like the Tale of the Giant Stone Eater. It's a cracking track about industrial development. Ribs and Balls is a funny jam session of a song. It's very likeable and the band can be heard laughing along to this one. The title track, Tomorrow Belongs to Me, is a beautifully sung cover ballad. This one takes a little bit of getting into, but once you are there, it's very rewarding. And Shark's Teeth, a bizarre jazz funk composition of a track that nearly gets the vote for the best track on the album. This one's really good. However, the best track award goes to Give My Compliments to the Chef, which is a slow, moody piece that just sets the pulses on edge. It's that good with its dark undertones and intentional malice. This track is one of the best in the band's entire catalogue. Harvey's delivery on most of these songs is just on point. It's a very strong album and is so often overlooked. And as I say, this could rank much higher on a different day. At 4, it's the Penthouse tapes from 1975. And it was an interesting experiment to record an album full, basically, of cover songs. There are a couple of newish tracks in there, but it's mainly covers album, but done in an inimitable style only Alex could bring to a series of songs. There's Del Shannon's classic Runaway and a track called Love Story. Then there's the extremes from School's Out by the legend that is Alice Cooper to a classic like Goodnight Irene, or from Osmond's massive #1 Crazy Horses to Irving Berlin's Dancing Cheek to Cheek with all its dancehall grace. It really is as bizarre and as broad a set of tracks you could ever hope to come across. Harvey was never a stranger to cover versions, and easily one of his most memorable was Delilah. But this is a decent set of cover versions that are well worth a listen. At number 3, it's Framed, and this was the album that marked the band's debut back in 1972, and it's laid the foundation for their distinctive sound. The album introduced audiences to the band's eclectic mix of rock, blues and cabaret with tracks like Framed and Hammer Song, these showcasing their early potential. While it didn't achieve the same chart success as their later albums, Framed is significant for its role in establishing their unique musical identity. Isabel Gaudi is a great track with a very unique style to it. I Just Want to Make Love to You is so obviously passionate, but a little cheesy. But the comedy element remains with There's No Lights on the Christmas Tree, Mama, They're Burning Big Louie Tonight. The title's longer than the song, I think. I simply adore this track. Although it reached a modest 41 on the UK charts, Frame garnered critical acclaim and set the stage for the band's subsequent albums. It has a raw energy to it, and Harvey's charismatic stage presence made it a cult classic among rock enthusiasts. Framed is a vital piece in the band's history, and it captures the essence of those early years. It was the first album I heard from the band, and I have to be honest, it left a real impression on me back in the day. At number 2, it's The Impossible Dream, and this was released in 1974. This continued the band's innovative approach to rock music. The album again showcased the band's ability to craft complex and emotionally charged songs. In the Hot City Symphony, Vambo and Man in the Jar are good. River of Love is a weak track though. Longhead Music has a funky tempo to it. It's only okay. Side 2 starts with Sergeant Fury. Now, this is a lovely offbeat song that has a lot of that vaudeville style theme in it again. I really like this one. Weights Made of Lead is a very catchy sing-along type that Harvey milks to its absolute maximum. Whilst the Tomahawk Kid is such a classic in the true traditions of the band with a brilliantly rasping chorus. Anthem starts with a military feeling with drums sounding a death knell for someone or something. Alex just loved a song with a story to it. There's a lovely solo from Zal Clemenson that is just so sweet on this one. This was the last song the band released in the US. And that leaves us with Next as the #1 in this ranking. It's often regarded as the Sensational Alex Harvey Band's magnum opus and a seminal work in the world of rock music. Released in 1973, this album just typified the band's unique approach to music that made it so memorable for the fans. It climbed to number 14 on the UK charts, cementing the band's status as a significant presence in the British rock scene. Its success was partly due to the band's theatrical live performances, which were electrifying and unforgettable for those that managed to attend. The album's impact extended beyond its chart position. It became a touchstone for future generations of musicians who admired the band's creativity and showmanship. There's not a bad track on this record, in my opinion. The opener, Swamp Snake, gets the album rolling with a driving rhythm and has the Harvey vocals at full throttle. No prizes for the subject matter of the track Gangbang, but it's an amusing tale of a group having some fun, if you get my drift. You then get the first side ending with the 7-minute epic Faith Healer, one of their greatest ever tracks. It has that mesmerising tempo that the band excel at conjuring up, and Harvey's vocals are uniquely sublime. It's another of my all-time favourite tracks from the band. On the second side, there is Giddy Up a Ding Dong, which is an out-and-out glam rock banger, with an ending that is hammed up to the maximum. I love this one. The pulsating title track next is full of army memories, sung in a tongue-in-cheek and vivid manner. You can just feel the pain. Check out those lyrics. Vamvo Marble Eye has that electrifying chant in the chorus that's amazing, and it all finishes with the epic The Last of the Teenage Idols, which is another 7-minute track that starts slowly before exploding into a crescendo of noise to end on a high. This is a terrific bookend track. This is the best of the albums by a country mile, and one that I simply love. So there you have it, my ranking of the 7 studio albums of one of the most individual rock bands from the 70s you could ever wish to listen to. If you're not familiar with the band or the albums, I implore you to add them to your collection, as you will not be disappointed. There are purchasing links for each of the albums in the description box below. Harvey's abrasive and rasping vocals are matched by a band that gained confidence in the studio and in live performances that took them towards some of the successes they should have achieved. Quite why they didn't hit the absolute heights still remains a mystery to me. Popular mostly in the UK and in some parts of Europe, success eluded them across the Atlantic, which is a shame. So these are my thoughts. Leave yours in the comment section below. Click the like button if you've enjoyed the video, and check out the description box for purchasing links for these fabulous albums, as well as ways to support the work of this channel. On screen now is a link to my full reaction to the Faith Healer, one of the standouts from these albums. Other than that, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Good night now.